Thank you very much. We are here in Mombasa today with a committee of parliament that deals with the issue of delegated legislation and a number of the funds that we are currently reviewing. We are reviewing a number of regulations. The first one is the establishment of the Beshara Fund. We are in the process of now, towards the tail end of merging Youth Enterprise Fund, Women Enterprise Fund, Ways of Fund, to consolidate them with a view of making efficiency and objectivity in terms of funds disbursement and removing issues of overhead costs, additional too huge overhead costs, issues of duplication, issues of disbursement. We want to inject efficiency in the whole system, and we are happy with the progress with the parliament, the parliamentary committee so far, because the big advantage is that the funds will grow from 2.5 billion to up to 14 billion from one pool with lean management, reduced overheads, and make it targeted, intervene on the policies, and make it more efficient. So that's basically what we are looking at. Secondly, we are also looking at establishment of the drought emergency fund regulation, which has taken a bit of time. The idea here is that to work on the areas of interventions, resilience, and also recovery is very important, because there are a number of agencies and development partners who want to contribute to this key team with a view of managing issues of drought. Drought is not necessarily an emergency if we plan for well in advance, and that is the direction we are going. We want to look at issues of resilience by making sure that if there are water structures, interventions, predictions, early preparations are inbuilt into these regulations, and the fund is going to appoint the CEO of NDMA as the administrator of the fund. We make it more targeted, increase the scope. And through this, we have come up with establishment of a number of committees at the county level, where between the chair and the county commissioner will be co-chairing this very important committee, where we look at the issue of projects and funds, pooling it together and entering into those interventions. Thirdly, we are also here to look at the regulations governing the credit guarantee scheme. The government has part of a recovery program, the COVID recovery program, is to look at the private sector, mainly the SMEs, and enable them have capacity, access to resources, with certain guarantees, level of guarantees from government. We are quite advanced in this. The government, the banks are already on board. 6 banks are already on board, and through this, we have been able to multiply, actually triple the amount of resources available by government giving an initial guarantee of 5 billion this financial year, and another additional 5 billion next financial year, holding 10 billion Kenya shilling in reserve. These funds are kept at the Central Bank of Kenya, just to provide, should there be any default and beyond reasonable doubt that this money cannot be recovered by the commercial bank, so then the government will come in, assess it on the basis of this, and enable a cushion at the commercial banks against. This is very important. Is a way of not only recovering but also enabling the SMEs to grow by accessing more funds and enabling and create jobs and opportunities for our people.
And where are we currently in terms of operationalization of the credit guarantee scheme?
We've already launched the project. The banks are already started off, and they've already started loaning resources to the beneficiaries. Applicants are already accessing it. The government, we have completed all the necessary regulatory and administrative arrangements through establishment of a committee, experts, a secretary that will be dealing with it. We've agreed to have a monthly reporting, both to the National Treasury, the Central Bank, and also the National Parliament. So it is already rolled out. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And that is a requirement in law, it's a requirement in the Constitution, that members of the public are in the heart of policy making. The role of the MP is still very important, is that this staff we are consolidating at this level. When you used to have, let's say, 5 staff for each of these, now maybe at the regional level or at the county level, maybe we'll need 2 or 1. The rest of the staff now will be pushed to the constituency. If you want the constituency to be the basis at the lowest unit, or managing this will be glad to go by it. What do you do with the fund that is not moving? Do you just keep it in the account and keep on paying commissions or interest, not real interest, but commissions to the banks, or you rather invest this fund and make it an earned savings? The savings can be used even for most of the institutions that we have in government. Sometimes they are allowed to invest in secure, securities like government papers, where the risk is minimal. You can use that one for administrative cost. You can even use that earning for further injection into the additional areas.
We can employ 35. We can employ 50% by financial investment of between.
In fact, government securities are made approved by the office of schools. The food money under the Mr. Chairman of this fund is 2.5 billion.
Please give him the mind for one which is lean and efficient. Currently, we have so many employees at the headquarters in form of these secretariats. All of them are duplication. There's duplication here. We have secretariats for youth. We have
We have had the CS and his team, and I don't think it's necessary for us to go around.
I'm a very careful person. We will see on the allocation of the fund. We would also have specific other essentials like we save on the overheads. Also, when the organization is synchronized, currently we have 3 organizations. With the structure, it can bring it as one organization. So we have now the goal, the vision for that organization. Productivity.